Anybody hear me? Y'all hear me? Okay. All right. So look like hold on. Let me see some here. Test one more time. All right. So hear the applause. You hear the applause, people? I'm working on it. You hear the applause? All right. Well, let's get in. Let's get right into it. Yeah. For the past couple of days, man, it's like Satan been working. They've been trying to like not have me come on. I've been busy a lot. I had trying to change the schedules. The things freezing. I was like, yo, what's going on? I'm trying to spread God's word, but I see sometimes when you spreading that righteous and you doing right, you always gonna find some type of struggle to hinder you from your growth. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. I ain't give up. I've been a little frustrated, but I ain't give up. Here I am today. Here I am. God bless. So before I begin, I want to say shout out to the brother I met. I believe it was Sunday. Yeah, yesterday. Um, Actually, no, I think it was Saturday. No, yeah, Saturday. I met the brother Saturday. I was going to a housewarming, and we all wanted to go see this place. So we left one place to go see another place. What's going on here for the knowledge? Yeah, I'm not giving up, man. See, I had to paint. I had to go. We went and got a new bar and got some liquor. I was just busy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even finished the wall. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm here. Like I said, I got some stuff for y'all. I don't want to keep changing the dates, and you got to be consistent with this. People got their own time, own things going on. They can't be always on your time. So I don't want to have people, yeah, new mic. I ain't telling you what's coming in, but I'm changing slowly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got 7 children, so Christmas kind of set me back with the 4 children that I got hands on. So it kind of like, with the wife and then and Thanksgiving, then Christmas, you kind of end up broke. Especially if you're on child support. So it took me a minute, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get back into my financial things. I ain't rich, I ain't broke, and I ain't poor, but I'm all right. I say that because, as God said in the books, as long as you got a roof over your head, and you got food in your fridge, and you got a family that love you, you ain't broke. You far from that. In other words, you rich spiritually. Ain't that right? All right. So let's get right into it. You doing all right? Can't let me borrow something. Man, look, I wish I did. But before I begin, as I said, I saw a brother at the liquor store, and I didn't even know it was black owned, right? So me and a few of the ladies and my man, we went up in there, and he came up to me. His name is Eight. He was like, "Yo, brother, yo, I appreciate what you're doing on your YouTube. It blew my mind because I don't look for, you know what I'm saying? That's something you expect from like rapping, somebody come up to you like that. So it made me realize how important my voice is because the brother felt motivated. He was influenced by what I was saying. He said, keep up the good job. I'm always tuning in. So I knew that I always have to be 100% truth. I can't spread no false information. I can't spread no lies. I told the brother, since it's a black liquor store, yo, I'm gonna just gas it up and say y'all gave me free liquor. But as I thought about it, this show is called what? The Lethal Truth. So what would I look like if I actually get up here and start lying? Just to make it look good for the brother at the store and the black owned store. I didn't want to do that because if I start lying, God is watching over me. Hold up, now that's it. Next thing you know, things ain't gonna be going right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep it real. So this liquor store is called The Hill Wine Liquor Store. This is it right here. So you can see, you know what I mean? So good location, good brother, good service, man. All I saw was myself in there. You know what I'm saying? Not being racist or not, but everybody else got their own with their own store. So why can't I feel proud? Ain't that right? All right. And so let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. So I got a good one for y'all today. Called The Inside of ADX, the Supermax. Super Federal Maximum Security. We always hear about this prison, but we don't really hear too much about this prison. This prison was designed, was being put together actually in like 1992, 1990, but they actually successfully built it in 1995. Now, before I get into that, because this is dealing with the federal penitentiary, this is not dealing with the New York State Penitentiary. The New York State Penitentiary is child's play compared to the feds. Don't get me wrong, you could die in the New York State. You could definitely die. But in the federal penitentiaries, they're not playing that razor game. In the federal penitentiary, these dudes got double digits of some guy life ain't never coming home, and they trying to make sure you don't come home. They don't care if they kill you. They got life. What they going to give them? They don't care. So it's different. When you on Rikers Island or you upstate New York and DOC, you got different type of things you could get involved in. You could be a Blood. You could be a Crip. You could be Muslim. You could be God body. You could be from the Brooklyn crew, from the Harlem crew, from the Bronx crew. Everybody has a crew. Before the gangbanging, it was just boroughs. And then you had borough wars. So Brooklyn, if you was from Brooklyn, you was good money. It was like that until the gang stuff started. Then everybody was with just everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty much like that. It's a lot of separation in the Department of Corrections on Rikers Island and upstate New York. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you just coming in, please hit that like button. So in the federal penitentiary, it's different. And I read this in a book called Uprising because I'm not going to be talking like I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I read this in a book called Uprising where it's a lot of gangbangers. It's promoted by Ice-T, that book. And it was pretty much trying to get brothers out of the gang life. And when I was banging, we was required as Bloods to always read that book to give us some sort of direction. You know what I'm saying? So they was pretty much saying that they felt the way that they out there on the streets killing each other, Bloods and Crips, whatever color, whatever set. And then when they get locked up and they go to the federal penitentiary, they are told, yeah, we don't do no gang banging here. It's about black, white, and Mexicans and Peckerwoods, which is like, the Peckerwoods is more like, they're like neutral, but they just hang with white people. Because the Aryan Brotherhood, they oversee the white community in the prison system. Whatever they say goes for them. Whatever the blacks say, it goes for you too. So in a penitentiary and the federal penitentiary, you have a very deep group called the DC Blacks. Now, DC is right by Baltimore, so they kind of like, they run together. They call each other homies. They run together. And DC, of course, is more populated in the federal penitentiary because Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. Anytime they get locked up, they go into the feds. So when you come up in the feds, they got the feds on lock. I'm going to say they got certain locations on lock because you got certain places that the Mexican mafia run things. You got certain locations in the prison system that the Aryan Brotherhood run things. You know what I'm saying? So it was this guy named Thomas Silverstein, Caucasian. And, you know, he started running the streets kind of early, 13 years old. And he caught a bit or two. I think the most at his early time he did was like 5 years. And then I believe around 1990, he went to Leavenworth. And there he turned Aryan Brotherhood. As this time where he was bitten there, he caught a murder case. He caught a murder case because allegedly they said that the person he killed didn't want to be a mule for him and the Aryan Brotherhood. Look at this. Look at this. Since he didn't want to be a mule to go on the visit and stick drugs up his rectum, he got murdered. See why I said the state and the feds is different? They ain't killing you up in DOC behind that. They may pressure you because you're soft, but to cut you and stab you and kill you, that's you going too far. I said it in Shatters. Y'all gone too far, no pigs. That's too far. But this dude, he had 15 years and he murdered this dude, right? So at this time, they gave him life behind that. So after getting life, they switched him from Leavenworth, which is a real hard-headed prison system in the federal penitentiary. They sent him to the worst, which was Marion, USP, Marion. This is the top dog, most dangerous federal penitentiary that's in America. Like, they killing stuff left and right over there. They had him in solitary confinement. And, you know, he beat the case. He beat the case because they found out that the person that was taking a stand against him was lying. So they dismissed it. So while he was in Marion, this guy, he decided to get into it with an officer because him and the officer, you know, he said the officer kept messing with him. And that happens in the penitentiary because when they get this badge and they got 30 or 40 people behind them and they got shields and sticks and they got AK-47, the softest person that grew up in your neighborhood all of a sudden is the toughest gangster in the jail. He walk around with a different bop and all that. So, and that's what they do. So they feel like their badge gives them the authority to oppress you in the penitentiary. So this white guy, Thomas, he didn't like that. So he ended up murdering the CO. You see why I said the federal penitentiary is different? He murdered the CO. And the way he did it, they said he came out, I forgot, he was being escorted somewhere. And he was handcuffed, and one of his Aryan brothers gave him a homemade handcuff key. Check this out now. Came out of the cuffs. Somehow the officer somehow the officer decided to walk in front of him. In the penitentiary, they don't do that. You walk in front of them. Hey, I guess he felt comfortable. Man, Thomas killed him so fast, but obliterated him. It gave him natural life behind that. So they put him in solitary confinement. As time went on, he became one of the leaders of the Aryan Brotherhood. They said, according to the federal penitentiary system, Thomas had spent a total of 39 years in solitary confinement. That means 23 hours a day locked down because everything he was touching, he was killing. To get him there was not the officer. He got out. They sent him to they kept him there. And there was a guy, I forgot the brother name. I should have wrote it down. But he was one of the leaders of the DC Blacks. And he heard that Thomas and a few other Aryan brothers had killed one of their members. So while he was there, he was telling everybody, I'm going to kill this crack. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Now the whole jail knows what's going on. Thomas is like, yo, listen, you know me. I lay it down. I didn't do that. But the brother his name was Raymond. I forgot the last name, but his name was Raymond. Raymond wasn't trying to hear it. Now, according to Thomas, he said, listen, I didn't want to really do anything because I know that I didn't do this. And I know how DC Blacks give up, because if it's a war with DC, it's not just that jail, it's every jail or how many jails it can touch. So he knows there's repercussions. So he's like, yo, listen, he's thinking for his own people and their safety. Listen, I don't got nothing to do with that. Raymond's not trying to hear that. So they was about to go to rap. Mysteriously, they sent another Aryan member from the Aryan Brotherhood on the gallery. The gates open. They stabbed this black man up 76 times, both of them. Do you know how much time you have to have on your hand to keep going like this and going like this? And I know how they moving because I've been in the penitentiary. They stabbing him all in the neck and the head. And then they dragged him down the gallery so everybody could see it. That's called making a statement. That's called sustaining your reputation. Remember when I was talking about the 48? No, I said it in my shorts, but the 48 laws of power is protect your reputation, because you can kill a war with just your reputation alone. All you gotta do, people talking, you step up in there and they get quiet. See, you won the war already because of your reputation. They know what you're about. And that's what they sent the message. So you know if you come at them again, you better kill them. You know what I'm saying? They got a reputation. So they had enough, the system. Plus, it was other people that was getting murdered. It wasn't just him. But allegedly, they said he was the main reason why they built the Supermax ADX. So he opened it up. He was the first prisoner to be in a jail along with other Aryan Brotherhoods and other cartel leaders and so forth. Now, what is the Supermax? What is this ADX? Where is it? We hear about it all the time. ADX is located in Florence, Colorado, in the Rockies. They call it the Alcatraz of the Rockies because ain't nothing over there but just that jail. That jail, they said, had to been designed by an architect with perfection because it's so soundproof. The cells is soundproof. The bubble is soundproof. You can't hear nobody screaming nowhere in the jail. Maybe in the yard, but not in the jail. The jail is so clean because there's not really any movement going around because you are in your cell 23 hours a day. They have these guards that has these machine guns, and they have patrol guard dogs to control and contain the perimeter of the jail. So ain't no escaping there. But check it out. They have motion detectors in the jail. God damn. Motion detectors? That means at a certain time when they turn that on, anything moving is sending a red dot. Because nobody should be out their cell. They get 3 meals a day in their cell. The only time they come out their cell is probably for a visit, rec, and medical. Probably. I said probably. This jail is designed to hold the most dangerous prisoners and criminals of the cartel and gang organizations, period, throughout America. Now, this is something that is so deadly about this prison because it is absolute silence. They said that prison is designed for you to come there and die, or 2, you will lose your mind. Can you believe 23 hours a day in a cell? The dude, I heard him say, one dude, he said, I was in a jail. He said, first of all, when you come to that jail, it's not like the regular federal penitentiaries where it is white and there's black over here. And it's something like that, but it's more of a black and white thing. Because when you come over there, the only people you may see is yourself. You may be in a jail with like 10 of your peoples, and you will be in there for 20 years and you haven't seen them one time. You haven't heard their voice one time. Now, they said you could shout through like the vents and they'll send messages from different buildings. So let's say I'm in somewhere and like all the way in the back in the next building somewhere. They will scream through the vents and say, yo, look, Slugger just pulled up. And they be like, word, oh man, you'll send them a message. But we may not see each other for 15 years. That's some deep shit. Damn. So you be in there in your cell, not really talking to anybody because the cell is soundproof and the windows is designed for you to not even see your location. The only thing you can see is in front of you and up. When you come out the cell, you come out handcuffed. The only thing you see around you is walls, and you look up, is the sky. That's how Shawanga is when I was there in 1995. Shawanga is built just like that in Wallkill, New York. When you come into that prison, first of all, it's underground. When I went there, I said, what the fuck they got me in here for? There's some killer men. So they told me about the son of Sam was there. I was like, wait a minute, man. Ain't that dangerous? You know what I'm saying? But when you go in that prison, every corridor you go to, they have to open it with a key. And you have to have an officer that's on that post. There ain't no escaping in that jail. Then when you go into the gallery, they open the doors electronically. Then you have to go through another door electronically. Then you go into your cell. When you get into the on the gallery, it's cameras everywhere. You ain't stab. You stab someone, you going down, get a new charge. So when you go out into the rack, the only thing you see is up in the air. If you want to see anything outside of that, you would have to go to the big rack. You know what I'm saying? So in that facility, ADX is like that. Hey, Monica, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? I hope you had a good day. So this jail, like I said, it's deadly silent. Now you have two racks. You have the inside rack and you have the outside rack. When you go to the outside rack, as they say, let's say, I might not have your rec time, but I know some brothers I got your rec time. I would leave a bag of food in the cage, and then you come down and you get it, and then you go back to your cell. This is how they have it. And when it comes to phone calls, oh my God. When it comes to phone calls, you only get 15 minutes of phone call. Once a month. Can you believe that? Imagine you have life and the only thing you get when it comes to phone call is 15 minutes. That means you can't play no games with your calls. You can't be calling side booties here, there. Matter of fact, by the time you get there, you lost all your side booties because you got so much time. So you're trying to contact all the family members that you can in 15 minutes. And they monitor the phone call. No, live. Like right now, with me, the headphone, and you on the phone, I'm listening to your conversation. If you say anything that I can't decipher and it's coded, they hang up the phone on you automatically. You lose your phone privileges for a year. You ain't trying to lose that. Now, if you have good time and good behavior, the end of the year, you could get an extra 15 minutes. Then now you got 15 minutes a month. Damn, that's not even good enough. But you'll take it, right? You know what I'm saying? So I want to show you this. I want to show you what they live, how they live. I want to show you something. Now look at that there. If you can see. Now, that's the cell they are in, right? I really want to talk to you because my street hustlers, my gangbangers, and all of you, I'm coming to you in a minute. Now, look at this cell. Can you imagine being in there for life? And that's on the only window you have. That's your bed. It's not soft, it's metal. And then they give you this thin ass mattress that probably somebody else had. Because that's what they do in the system. They rotate these stuff. They rotate it. So you have a flat mattress that probably got pee stains, and you probably won't get a pillow if you're lucky. Because that's how they do it on Rikers Island and every other prison that I've been to. Survive on your own. Now, if you see on your on your right, you see that metal thing? Now, that's called the shower. I can't get the whole thing because how I know? Because I've been in a cell like this for 3 years, and then I've been in a cell like this for 2 years. I was in upstate box, single man, and I was in Governor S block. And those cells like that is designed in the double bunk jails. So I was in there for 3 years. You know, they give you TVs now in that ADS. They got little TVs, and you know, I don't know if they have headphones, but where I was at in the facility, they give you little headphones. Now they play rap. When I first started going up there, and you was hearing nothing but a Jimmy Carcone, and I don't care. You're gonna be jamming to that. and after a while, it grows on you. You know why? Because psychologically, it breaks you down to the point where you be thirsty to hear some music, thirsty to hear whoever, Christina Milian and Madonna and all that, and Britney Spears. I was jamming to all of that. I don't know why would anyone will wait to keep going back to prison with little to no space. Um, sometimes, brother, it's about, people is just trying to survive. If you don't have no food, no shelter, no water, you will become a cannibalism within a week. So just being at home and not being able to survive, which they designed it that way, you know what I'm saying? You continue to do crime in order to survive. You're not hoping to get locked up, but you don't have a choice. And then you end back up in that. And then you feel like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But we've been set up like that. We're socially engineered like that. Now, if you got a job and then you want to sell drugs and run the street, now you're an asshole. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Now those are the cells. When I seen that, I said, "Oh, they in the same cell I was." And it's soundproof, so you can't talk to nobody. Even the window, you can't talk to nobody. Their job in that jail is to either make you die there or you go crazy. See, this jail is designed for people who has influence. When you want to call from Rikers Island and you want to put the hit out, that's where you're going. That's where you're going. Especially if you have a federal case. That's where you're going. Because you are a threat. You can wake up tomorrow and start a revolution. They don't need that. Need to keep you away. Remember what I told you about the COINTELPRO papers to prevent the rise of the Black Messiah? They don't know who the Black Messiah is. They don't know. I know some of you might be like, come on, you think they're going to think the gangbangers? What was Moses? Wasn't he a murderer? God came to him, right? So it'll make you think they will come to him. What was Malcolm? He was a drunk. He was a dope seller. God woke him up. They don't want that. Put them in there. Yeah, they don't want that, man. That's why they keep them in jail. Look, this is why I get all these books from. I go in there, I read Blood in My Eye, all the Black Panthers books from Elaine Brown, Bobby Seale, Huey P. Newton, Angela Davis. I read them all. I read King Book. I read Malcolm. But that's how I get the knowledge, because they try to confine these brothers with that wisdom. So when you come in there, you start getting all these books you never heard of. You're like, well, Assata Shakur, who's Assata? The first thing you would think, oh, that's Tupac aunt, right? No, that's not his aunt. They're not related. She just has the last name because it's a righteous name. But you wouldn't know that until you start reading her story. You know what I'm saying? So now you go to the yard. Check the yard now. Y'all all right? Okay, now. When I saw the yard, I said, man, Lord have mercy. That's the yard. Let me see if it come up. Okay, there you go. In there by yourself for a whole hour. You can't do a wait or nothing. Hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. That's the yard. That's ADX. That's when you want to be like Larry Hoover and OG Mack and all of them. This is where you want to be like El Chapo. You want to be the big drug dealer. You want to be like that. I'm about to say something about Meech. You want to be like Big Meech. He wasn't in that. He ain't built like that because his case wasn't strong like that. These right here that I'm talking about, these is ultimate gangsters right here. These dudes is killing police. They coming at politicians. These dudes here is dangerous. Not all of them, but some of them. This is the prison yard. You ain't got nobody in there. You can't talk to nobody. It's like, why am I coming outside? I could stay in my goddamn cell. But you know why? They come out because it's a different environment. It's a psychological thing. You need to come out and feel like human. You need to smell that fresh air. Yo, when you go to prison, you appreciate so much that you used to have. You do. And you think about it because you're not distracted. You ain't high all day. You ain't drunk all day. You focus. And you getting letters from your family. What does ADX stand for? Oh man, shoot. Oh man, give me a second, brother. You right. You right. I had it too. I had written it down. I forgot what it stands for. Give me a second, please. Shush. To be honest. Okay. Oh man. I'm sorry. I can't find it right now. If y'all can look it up, y'all can look it up, but it's not coming up. I had it written down before. For some reason, I didn't write it down on this book. But okay, anyway. So that's the sun. Now, check this out. I'm taking my time showing you this because I want you to get the picture of where these brothers is at. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Now, this right here, this blew my mind. When I saw this what made me really get into this because I seen the visit. Yo, it made me want to cry. Not just regular cry but cry for them brothers in there that's really going through who probably actually made a change for their life like Larry Hoover did. But we'll get into all that. Hold on, let me see. A super maximum security, supermax administration, maximum prison is a control unit prison or a unit within that represents the most secure level. Okay, yeah, I thought he was just asking for the abbreviation. I had said that, but you kind of pretty much cleared it better than me. Okay, congratulations. Thank you, Lethal Seduction. Now look at their yard. Excuse me, look at their visit. Oh my God. Okay. When I saw this, I said, nah, man. I said, that's it. I said, if I had any idea of wanting to run the streets again, this cleared it up for me, bro. This ADX, joining. Hold up, I think it didn't come up. Oh man, it didn't come up. Hold on. Oh shoot. Okay, go right there. It should be coming up. Okay. Don't worry, I'm working on some new stuff. It's gonna get better. Now, this is the visit. Now, you can't get letters unless they are relative with your last name. And sometimes you won't even get a letter until 90 days later because they have to screen it. You're like, damn, why they gotta go through it like that? Watch what I tell you, the people that's there. You'll see why the jail is like that. And that's your visit in Florence, Colorado. So here it is, your family fly out all the way to Colorado and see you behind a glass can never, ever touch you again. And you sitting on that hard ass stone seat. And then you pick up the phone and pray it doesn't smell like shit. Because I've been in them phone booths when they deaded me on Rikers Island visits and they pick up the phone and it smell like shit. Yeah, so terrible. So these are the visits here. I seen that. I said, God damn. You imagine that? You in there for 50 years, 100 years, natural life. You can't touch no one. You barely could see anyone. You could barely do anything. You can never, ever touch anyone again. Damn. Y'all all right out there? All right. Now, like I said, I heard this, man, and seen this. I say, yo, this is crazy. I said, this is a max, but this is all the people that has influence on the streets. Well, who's in there? You got, mm, mm, mm. You saw him on my thumbnail. You got Jeff Fort. Who is Jeff Fort? Jeff Fort was the one that started the Black Stone Nation back in the 60s. This was the guy that was bumping heads with Fred Hampton in Chicago because he had over 3,000 soldiers in Chicago under his leadership, under his work. Could you imagine that? And he was organized fully. He had 3,000 organized, and they killed that win. They locked Chicago down. The only, the only heads they was really, really bumping with was with the Nation of Islam, because at that time, the Nation of Islam owned a whole lot of property. So they kind of like bumped heads a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And let's just say, as I say, you have a lot of brothers in the Nation of Islam that was used to be gangsters. So this because they picked up the Quran and they pray and they don't prey on their own people. Do not push them. Do not push them. You know what I'm saying? So Jeff Fort decided at this time he was getting more righteous. You know what I'm saying? He became a Moor. So they changed the name to El Rukin. They said it wasn't blood no more, but they all wear the red fist and they all wear red. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Black Stone P Nation was like a branch off from, I won't say Bloods because they was pretty much before Bloods, but I would say they had the same somewhat ideology. You know what I'm saying? But Jeff Fort was kind of different. He moved different. He took his game to a whole different plateau, to the point that Jesse Jackson's brother was down with him. So during the civil rights movement, they had a thing where I forgot what they called. I think it was Operation Feed or something like that, where Jesse Jackson was ahead of the field. One of the field, I don't know what I say. It was like I would say like a field agent. His job was to find stores that wasn't hiring Black people or didn't hire any Black people working. So it was like affirmative action. So what he would do is he would tell his brother, who would tell Jeff Fort, because they would get kickbacks from the civil rights. Oh yeah, this was some gangster stuff going on here with NAACP and them. See, they ain't want to tell you all that, but I'm gonna blow them up. I'm gonna blow them up. So what they did, Jeff Fort would get some of his goons and some of the females, and they would dress up and they would protest the stores and prevent people from going in the store. So the store owner would get upset and lose money, and he would pay Jesse Jackson, who would pay Jeff Fort, and then Black people that's under their fold would get hired in the business. Talk about friendly extortion. You know what I'm saying? But he kind of started doing things a little, I don't want to say oh boy, but he started doing things different. He started shipping guns and drugs through Pakistan and all of that. Yeah, they got, when they got hit, man, these dudes had M16s, they had rocket launchers, bazookas. They was different. They didn't want Jeff Fort. Soon as they opened up that jail, ADS, Jeff Fort was the first thing smoking. He was out of there because he still has that power. Because the Black Peace Stone Nation is a nation with over 20-something gangs or 40-something gangs. That's on a one banner. This is not the Black Peace Stone Nation in LA. That's a branch off from where T. Rogers went and started with the approval, because he was a baby rival rouser. Come on now. So this is how El Rukin got involved in that, and they shipped him to ADS. Out of here. And of course, someone snitched on him. It's always someone up under us. Salute a lot TV going on. Y'all gotta tune into this brother, man. Yo, bro, you been going in. Yo, 4 or 5 times a day. I say, yo, this brother don't have no chill pip. He got a lot of topics. Check him out. He got some good knowledge, for real. Next person, Aaron Davis. Who's Aaron Davis? Matter of fact, let's back up a little bit before I get to him. Let's get to Kabani Savage. He turned Muslim now. Kabani was a hitman for the Black Mafia. No. I'm not talking about the BMF. I take nothing from their hustle game, but compared to the real black mafia in Philly, they child's play. These brothers here was not playing. And they not only they control Philly, but they also migrated into the Nation of Islam. So they was playing both sides of the fence. You had militant brothers and you had gangsters, and they wasn't playing. The leader of that was Sam Christian. Kabani was one of his number one hitmans. You understand what I'm saying? So Black Mafia, it's not too much I could say because I'll be going off. I'll be going a long time talking about everybody I'm talking about. So you could research them if you want to, you know what I'm saying? But Kabani Savage, he was so lethal. They gave him 13 death sentences. I said, God damn, how you get 13? See, Kabani, when he went to prison, he turned Muslim. I think his name was Samid Ali. He turned Muslim. And he came home. Now, when he came home, he was still in the streets, but not too much. Well, he had his little big toenail in there. But most of his feet was in the political offices when he was rubbing shoulders with the mayor at that time. So he was getting a lot of things done for black people and the gangsters in the street. So he got caught up in indictment, with drugs and stuff and fraud along with the mayor because they bugged the mayor's office, the feds. That's how they got him. And they put him in the federal penitentiary. Right now, he's in ADX. Why he's in ADX? Because not only that he has that much power, but he is the number one imam in the federal penitentiary. You know how much power that is? You know how we all know Philly is the capital of Islam on the East Coast. So you go out there, he got to just point the finger. So the spinoff from him, he hasn't, of course. They commuted his sentence. He's not on death row anymore, but he has natural life. So he's in ADX and they just waiting for him to die. So they can put somebody else in it. Because that's the only way you leave unless you're short like some people. Let me get to that. The next person is Aaron Jones. Why I've made it in that order? Because Aaron Jones decided to start the Junior Black Mafia. You see what Junior Mafia get their name from? All these people want these names, man. It's not living up to it. Like these dudes were serious. Now, Aaron Jones, he's on death row right now. I read his words in the Fed magazine when I first was up there. I think I was in Southport around this time, and they let the Feds magazine in. And sometimes they don't let it in because there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of stuff for you to know to beat your case. And they don't like you having no knowledge. They want you to just read gangster stuff. Read your Donald Goins and all that stupid stuff and Quan. That's what they want you to read. So you could end up in ADX with them dudes. That's what they want. So Aaron Jones, he started the Junior Black Mafia, which was the spinoff of the real Black Mafia. You ever heard Get Down or Lay Down? Remember the movie State Property? Okay, that's based on them. No, that's a true story. You was getting down or you was going to get laid down. And that's how they was moving. They controlled Philly. Aaron Jones had so much power that he was even in bed with the mob. And he said it on while he was on death row. He said, I could have took down a whole lot of mob figures. He said, but I ain't no rat like these cowards. I'm going to take my death penalty like a man because I did what I was supposed to have did. I said, that's some gangster shit. Because I be in there like this, damn, death row, like I'm really going to die. Now, you may say, Slug, come on now, you got to be tough enough. Listen, when you're presented with a time and a date to die, look, that thing is on your mind. I don't know about you, but I know I'm going to be crying like, damn, man. Not crying at the simple fact that I'm in there just like that, but crying for the simple fact that people that I loved and trusted betrayed me and put me in this situation. Yeah, I put myself because I walked into my own prophecy, but I trusted somebody. All those brothers in there in ADX, most of them is there because they trusted somebody. And they turned state evidence against them. Junior Black Mafia was washing the shower posse up in Philly. It was such a bloodbath. It was crazy. They had to get him off the streets. He's in there right now. Aaron Jones. The next one is Larry Hoover. Yeah, I already know. I ain't got to say too much about Larry, right? Because Larry, he started the gangster disciples. You had the black disciples and you had the gangster disciples. You know, him and Larry. It was another brother, I forgot his name, that started it. But he actually passed away before things really got big. Because they had joined forces and they created the gangster disciples. And Larry took over. Very intelligent brother. I remember I was a young kid. No, actually I wasn't. Yeah, I was still young. I was like 20. And I was in Shawanga, right? I know, little kid like that in that man jail. I was in Shawanga, the Supermax, and I was watching TV and they was talking about Larry Hoover, and he was taking the gangster disciple name and he was removing it, and he was starting something called growth and development. He was knocking on doors and he was getting black people to vote. He was trying to change his ideology. See, that was a threat. He should have never did that. That's why he can't come out now. That's why they ain't let Tookie Williams out. He was doing coloring books, trying to get kids to see. See, when you too inspirational, got too much power, and you can raise the consciousness of black people, you're not going home. You're not going home. You're too smart. You woke up. You can't do that. Know why? Because like I said, you can cause a revolution. They smoked Tookie. Arnold swears he's a nigga. He did that. He said, no, he has to die. So Larry Hoover is stuck in the ADX. They're not trying to let him go. Yes, he's there for a couple of murders. They gave him the natural life. He's trying to get home. He's trying to get a pardon now. You know, I know Kanye West is on it. He's trying to get him pardoned. You know, brother, he's helping a lot of brothers out. I don't think he's involved in a gang anymore. This man is like 75, 80 years old. What is he doing? He ain't got time for that. And he probably done lost so much control because he been off the scene for so long that other people was running it. They got so many different chapters of that thing, and I'm hearing they fighting each other just like the gangs in New York. So by the time he come home, if they let him out, you think that 75, 80-year-old man gonna do some dumb stuff like Big Meech and be in front of the camera like, hell no. He gonna be smart like Prince Miller. See, Prince Miller got out. You ain't hear about him. You ain't hear. You ain't need to see a YouTube interview. Who's Prince Miller from Supreme Team? Supreme's nephew. He got released. You ain't hear. He pulled the O.J. Simpson, went out the back door. You ain't hear nothing. That's how you're supposed to do it. Because they watching him. Because he has influence. So, the next one, OG Mac. Y'all, I know y'all already know who this dude. I ain't got to run down with him. Thank you, John Banshee. I just painted it today. You know what I'm saying? I just painted. I'm right here trying to rearrange the apartment, me and my wife, you know. So we working. It's gonna be more different next time you probably see it again. So OG Mac, of course, we all know that he's the founder of the East Coast UBM Bloods. You know, later on they found out he was telling whatever the case may be. I'm not here to talk about that, but he had influence to the point where he unified a gang and caused a revolution. The blood beef with Latin kings and Niatas, that was a revolution. That was a revolution fight. Because when I was there and there was no Spanish people who can be blood, it was a racial war. It was blacks between Spanish-speaking brothers. Okay? So that's how we was. That's a revolution. He was there when it happened. Well, when I got there, he was already gone, but he was a part of that war that was going on. I'm not saying he did anything, but he definitely was pointing the fingers, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? He went home. We thought he was going to do the right thing. Instead, he went in the Fez magazine. I don't know why. We got all these books to read. You know they looking at us. Why would your ass get in the Fez magazine with a Godfather hat on, red chucks, talking about I'm home? You ain't been home a week, and you blowing yourself up. Make a long story short, somebody told on him. Somebody that's close to him. OG Mac right now has 50 years. So he has daylight. His release date is 2044. The first blood that actually hit ADX was Pistol Pete, the founder of Sex Money Murder from the Bronx. His case doesn't deal with gangbanging. When he got snatched up, he just started the set, because you got two types of sex money murder. You got sex money murder, that's blood. Then you got sex money and murder. See, the and is different. That's the street gang. That's what he was a part of. And his crew took him down because he was on the phone putting hits out. I can't even say allegedly because they got it in black and white in his transcripts. So it's already true. They got you recorded. And then the people he sent to go do the dirt, they turned around and told on him and said, he told me to do it. Pistol Pete, I believe, got locked up when he was about 23, 24, and they snatched him up. He hit ADX in I believe, 99 or 2000, I believe. Because I know he was on the island in 96. So I would say about 99 or 2000, he hit ADX. And I read his words in the Fed magazine. He didn't denounce the gang, but he didn't promote the gang. What I read through his words was, yo, I woke up. Yo, this is not cool. And he was just pretty much talking about, yo, be out there, stay out there, be with your family. Don't let nobody deter you from that. The streets ain't about it. He didn't say nothing about sex money like other gang leaders that talking this MAGA stuff. You know what I'm saying? He never denounced it. But like I said, he wasn't promoting it. Pistol P, I believe, has 103 years and several other life sentences. I remember when they gave it to him, they posted that all over the hood in the Bronx with his face on it. If those of you was out there and you remember, then you know what I'm talking about. They were sending a message to all you gang leaders. You want to be like OG Mac, don't you? You want to be like the names that's in the Feds and the Don Divas, like Cadillac and all of that. It comes with a price. Me personally, you can have that. I don't want none of that. I ain't gonna lie. At one time I did, because I heard something a lot going on TV set. He said one time we was all followers, and he's right. Because that's how we got to the street. We like what the other person was wearing, the other person was doing. They had the girls, they had the fame, they had the money. I want to be like that. How do I do that? When I became blood, I heard all these things. My name out there too. What I gotta do? You gotta put it in. All right, I'm putting it in hard. And my dumb ass turned 5 years to 16 years. What I got to show for? You know what I'm saying? We was followers. In order to be a leader, you have to be a follower. Then you become a leader where now you can lead people the right way. Because 9 out of 10, we was all led the wrong way. So, OG Mac and Pistol Pete is gone. Well, no, OG Mac will be home 2044, like I said. Pistol Pete, gone. He's going to die there. They're not letting him out. That's what ADX is all about. The next two you have is Magoo. They call him the chairman of Blood, of Non-Trade Gangsters, along with his co-defendant, Frank White. I met Magoo in 1994 and 95. He was still king. He was in a Bing with me. Good brother. He if you know him, you know Magoo doesn't walk around pretending to be tough. You see how I talk? That's how he talk. You won't believe it. In his pictures, he looks crazy. When you have a concert with the brother, you be like, damn, he really doing all this stuff? But he had a lot of influence. He became the head of Non-Trade Gangsters because Assad got killed by the police. He went out in a blaze of glory and put it on Facebook. Today I die. I said, God damn, this brother is heavy, man. And I met him when he was only 17. Real dude. Go back to Magoo. Good brother. Very knowledgeable. And I'm glad I never followed him. because he tried to get me when he had this thing called Old Trey Bloods. At that time, I just went to Gangsta Miller, and I was like, nah, son, I don't want to mess with it because they was hot. The police was going through their mail, searching their cells. I didn't want that type of attention. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I was like, nah, and I'm glad I didn't because he's from my time. Me and him is really close, so I would have been following him, and I would have been in ADX with them because somebody snitched on him. They told on him. Now Magoo comes home 2044. So he still has daylight. He still has daylight. I hope the brother live and survive, and I hope that they don't break my brother because that jail is designed to break you. That jail is 10 times worse than the penitentiary in DOC. And all of us that came from there has something going on wrong with them. We are all still damaged by prison. All of us. We may talk like we not, but we are. And I really didn't figure it out until my wife started to point it out. I said, what you mean I'm still caught up? She said, you ain't break out of it. I said, what you mean I ain't break out of it? She said, because every time we come in the bedroom, you got to close the door. Represents locked doors. Every time you got to go to the shower, you got to take your slippers. Get in the shower with the slippers. Every time I turn around, you watching TV all night. TV in the cell. We still somewhat programmed. And we got to break out of that. So it's kind of hard. In the ADX, either you're going to die or you're going to come out crazy. You're going to be on medication. So the next one I have is Rod Diggs, my brother. Murderous Mad Dog Bloods. Now, I don't know too much about Rod Diggs like that. I met him one time in C95. We said what's up. I just came back down. He was just coming back from court. He beat his case and went home and then got into the rap game and then got caught up. So I'm not going to sit here and like, yo, that's my man and we cool. No, I just met the brother one time and that was it. He seemed hella cool, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really know him. You know what I mean? He got caught up. He went home. You know, allegedly, they said he beat his case because allegedly he called the shot to get the witness killed. Then when he got home, he did some more things in the hallway. He allegedly killed someone in front of their mother. Yeah, he had beef with a dude and he killed him in front of his mother. That's damn. I wish he didn't do that. Like that lady's not gonna never forget that. She ain't do you no wrong. But you know, when you live in that life and you held on a pedestal, you want to put certain fear in people's heart. I'm pretty sure he had to know he was going down after he did that in front of somebody. You kill somebody's child. They don't give a fuck about no snitching. They gonna snitch. You took that child. I won't even be surprised if a gangster called 911 because you blew that child head off in front of them. That's a hell of a thing. That's the last thing you're going to remember of seeing your child is getting gunned down. Rod Diggs is serving, I believe, 108 years. He will die there. He will die there. So my homies, so whoa, this is what you're going to be facing. You want to be up there. You want to be on that lineup. You want to hold weight. You want to be like Magoo. You want to be like Mac. You want to be like Edge. You want to be like Quell. Quell was smart. Quell home. Corey King home. They working. They knew, because they seen it. They seen it. They got up here and they said it. They seen them coming. Once OG Mac left, Chuck West said, I seen it coming after that. Because he can't even come to population no more. Because he's a threat. So imagine if he'd have took those reins. He'd have been up there with Goo. Labram. 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 I believe Labram got 50 years. The founder or ex-leader of the Bloodhound Brims. He went home. I know him, been around him. I don't really got too much anything negative to say about him, like a lot of other people, because when I met Labrim, he was just Labrim. Now he's a different Labrim. I don't know that Labrim. I remember when he just started Bloodhound Brand. It was just about three of them: him, D Block, and it was somebody else. And he was trying to get me to in Southport. Because at that time it was so many new hoods popping up. A lot of it wasn't respected, and people was just like, "Nah, I'm good where I'm at." It was just too much politics. But I'm glad I didn't, because guess what? I'd have been right there with him. And the brother on YouTube probably would have been the dude that snitched on me. No shots fired, but it is what it is. That's reality of it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other brothers that was in my position escaped that wrath. Right now, Labrim has 50 years in ADS because he picked up the phone and allegedly he made a call and somebody got hurt real bad, died. So, since you have power to make phone calls, Supermax ADX. And that's where he's at. Now, I'm going to get into it some more. It's funny that I'm speaking about these brothers that I was banging with, because we all read the same books. We all knew how the feds was working. We all know how COINTELPRO was moving. So we knew how DOC was moving. And I just can't understand how they had this information, they had this history in their face, and they still fell. I want you to hear something. When I put it on, I'm going to tell you who this individual is. Okay? Hold on. This individual, man. Oh, man. Hold on. This individual is disgusting. He's disgusting. I'm going to tell you who he is.
And run.
Hold on. God damn. I'm sorry.
From the fact that
this individual is the individual who was responsible for drugging Fred Hampton, the Chicago head leader of the Black Panthers. He drugged him so the feds could come in there and kill him. While he was drugged, and Fred's wife was beside him, 8 months pregnant, the police pulled up after they got word by their informant that Fred was knocked out from the drugs. They shot the house up over 230 something times. Of course, the informant got out of there before it happened. When they entered the place, they saw that Fred was still breathing. His wife, of course, was crying, big pregnant belly. And they told her, "Look at me, you nigga bitch." And they put the gun to Fred's head and pulled the trigger. And then they put the gun to her belly and said, "We should have another less nigga from him." But they didn't pull the trigger. That was Fred Hampton Jr., who's in the federal penitentiary now, serving 50 years because he picked up his father's work. I want you to listen. When you want to be a leader and you want to lead your people to do something right, this is what happens. And even if you're not leading them to do something right and you're just doing something negative, it's just a possibility you may wake up and they got to put you down. Listen to this. Listen to this, though.
I'm on the run constantly. I have no real life to speak of.
You have no family life, really? You have a wife?
No, I don't have a wife. I do have a child. I can't see her that often. I have to stay away from them because once I
I know
come
it's
around,
freezing. Don't worry, I'm getting another
the
laptop.
Bureau shows up and harassment starts. I have very few close personal friends, no one to really confide in. It's on the outside of a glass jar.